welcome to the Mediabox. Sena Nur Çelik Kanat, thanks for joining
you.
us. Your rapporteur on women in the economy. Why this report now, and what issues did you look into?
Why this report now? Because equality, economic equality between women and men, unfortunately, despite progress, still is far from reality today. According to the World Bank, 2.6 billion women today do not have the same economic rights as men, and unfortunately, these deeply entrenched inequalities are even deepened more with the recent COVID-19 pandemic and conflicts in and around Europe. So at the moment, it's vital to look for ways to close the gender gaps in the economy. In my report, I look at and I identify the specific gender inequalities in the economy. I look at gender gaps in the labor market, gender gaps like differences in employment rates, differences in hourly pay. Unfortunately, still today, women and men are paid differently for the same work that they do. I'm also looking at the impact of unpaid care work, which is disproportionately performed by women, childcare, elderly care, disability care, and how this impacts women's economic participation. I'm also looking at the presence and participation and representation of women in the public and private economic decision-making positions. So corporate boards and also governmental positions, for example, concerning the economy, how much women is actually included in the decision-making process. The other area I look at is the inequalities in entrepreneurship. So difficulties for women who want to start their own businesses, especially difficulties regarding access to capital, for example, access to financing, difficulties concerning availability of training programs, mentoring programs. I think the other area that I look at is the situation of women from diverse groups and disadvantaged backgrounds, and the way they are impacted because they are faced with specific challenges. So women from minority groups, migrant women, they face single mothers, pregnant women, women from rural areas. They all face different challenges in trying to access employment opportunities. So I look at all of these problems, and I came up with a set of recommendations in my resolution to the member states. And in these recommendations, the purpose is basically to close these gender gaps, to promote women's equality in the economy. So I consider gender-responsive budgeting to be the most effective tool we policymakers have at hand in order to promote gender equality. What is it? It is actually basically the gender mainstreaming of the whole budgetary process. So it is actually about creating a gender-equal budget. So the purpose is to basically design the budget in a way that expenditures are distributed by taking gender considerations into account. So this is about funding. So all of these inequalities that I just talked about, the policies to address them require funding. And where does this funding come from? It comes from budgets. This is a technical process, basically, when we say gender responsive budgeting. It is integrating the gender analysis in all stages of the budgetary process, starting from the conception of the budget to the implementation of the budget. And I'm recommending that we should make gender budgeting a legal requirement.
Okay, Sena Nur Çelik Kanat, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.